Hey everyone! Welcome back to my channel. My previous video was me reacting to the highest rated Goodreads books that I've read on my shelves and seeing if my opinions, my ratings of those books aligned with their Goodreads rating. And I had some unpopular opinions kind of come out in that video about books I may not love as much as the majority of people do. Now this video is going to be the opposite. I'm going to be looking at the lowest rated Goodreads books and see if I agree with their low rating or if I think that they deserve a higher rating and maybe have an unpopular opinion. So I'm going to go ahead and start recording my screen. Again, I have not looked at this previously, so this is going to be just real-time reactions to these ratings, and we're going to see if I agree with the majority of people. So here we are. I'm going to go to my red shelf here, and we are going to sort by the average rating backwards. The first book is obviously not the lowest rated. That 3.95 is still a very good rating. So I'm going to skip that one, and we're just going to start at The Possessions. Yeah, that was a book of the month book that I actually really did not enjoy. I don't remember anything about that book. It was a thriller. I think there was like the possessions being that they could get possessed by spirits, but man, I don't remember that book at all, and I don't remember liking it. So I agree. When the Sky Goes Dark, that was a self-published book that was sent to me. The Cabin at the End of the World. Okay, this is a good one. I gave this 4 stars, but it's 3.32. That is not very good on Goodreads. The Cabin at the End of the World, I 100% see why so many people dislike this book. It has the most open ending. So if you can't stand an open ending, if you can't stand having a solid answer at the end to explain things, you're going to be so frustrated with this book. I personally enjoyed it. I really liked this book. It actually just got adapted into an M. Night Shyamalan movie, and I was shocked that it got adapted because I was like, how are they going to handle this ending? If they keep the same ending, people are going to hate this movie. And apparently, I think they changed it a little bit, so I still have to watch the movie and see how it compares to the book, but I really enjoyed the book. It was a wild ride. It's about a family who is staying in the woods on a family vacation, and it's like 2 men and their daughter, and 4 strangers show up at their cabin basically telling them that one of them has to die in order to save the world. And obviously they don't believe them. They take this family hostage, and things unfold from there. So it's a wild ride. I enjoyed all of it, but I can totally see why people would hate this book. Yeah, the ending, I just remember finishing it and being like, oh my god, what did I just read? Okay, Startup. Oh my gosh, that was another book of the month one that I don't remember anything about that one. I obviously thought it was fine. I gave it a very average rating. Same with 99% Mine. That one I don't remember. I read this because I loved The Hating Game, but I don't remember anything about this one. I think, if I recall, it had a lot of miscommunication in it, which is why it got the 3 stars. The Nest. This is, oh my gosh, these are all ones I read so long ago. I mean, this one's from 2017. I don't remember. I think it was like a family drama contemporary book. I'm actually surprised at that low of a rating. I think I enjoyed it overall, but it was a very character focused, not a whole lot of plot type book. So yeah, I guess I can understand the low rating, but I think I enjoyed that one overall. I Know Who You Are by Alice Feeney. This one deserves a low rating. I was totally engaged with this book the whole time until the twist at the end. I actually had a video where I was reading this and reacting to it real time that I will link down below. That video is from a while ago. And my reaction real time when I got to the twist, shocked, absolutely disgusted, shocked. It's disgusting. I was like, what did I just read? That was so gross. Did not enjoy. I'm surprised I even gave it 2 stars, to be honest. Yikes. Okay, Upon a Burning Throne, I totally disagree with the low rating. Even though I can understand how it won't be for everyone for sure, I still think it deserves a little bit higher of a rating than 3.47. I gave this one 4 stars. It is so imaginative, so unique, such a different type of fantasy book, so different than anything else I've read. It's this Indian-inspired fantasy epic series, and it is inspired by the classic Indian myth, Mahabharata. So it, I think, doesn't stick super closely to the original. It takes a lot of inspiration from the original and kind of tweaks a little bit of it. So maybe that could have rubbed some people the wrong way. But I haven't read the original. I probably should. I'd be interested in reading the original epic. But I loved this writing. It was very slow. So it was a very descriptive writing style, which is something I usually don't enjoy, but for some reason the way this author described things and the world building and the magic, it was just so unique, so well crafted, and I loved the characters. It was very political, so I really enjoyed that one. I continued on with the series and really liked the second book, probably just as much as the first, and then the third book I ended up not finishing, but maybe I will eventually revisit it because it had just been so long before I read the third book that I forgot so much of it. So maybe eventually I'll go back to that one and finish it off. But yeah, I really enjoyed Upon a Burning Throne. Bring Me Back by B.A. Paris. This is one I read because I loved Behind Closed Doors by this author. And I'd read another book by this author and thought it was fine. It was 3 stars. But then this one was really fun. I had a good time with this one. I forget, what was the Finn and Layla, Young and... Oh yeah, this was the one where Layla vanished. Yeah, this was a fun one. I'm surprised it has such low ratings. I think thrillers are hard because if you go in, with the expectations that there's going to be a big twist or a big reveal, B.A. Paris I don't think does that a whole lot. There's no like big twist or anything at the end, but I think I remember really liking this one. I don't remember too many details, but yeah, I enjoyed that one. So I'm actually surprised. This one, I'm not surprised. I'm not even gonna comment. No comment. These are other Book of the Month books that I just don't even remember anything about. Yikes. I actually picked this one up because Kristen Ritter plays Jessica Jones in the Netflix series and I really like her. But yeah, I don't remember much of it and I remember nothing of these, but obviously I just thought they were fine, so I kind of agree with their lower rating. This one I agreed. I remember not enjoying that one. The Perfect Mother was another Book of the Month one. I enjoyed this one. It was very much like a motherhood thriller. It focused a lot on the themes around motherhood and children and all that. And so I like those kinds of like juicy mommy type books. So I thought I remember having a lot of fun with this one, but I don't remember, again, oh gosh, these thrillers from like 2018. I don't remember at all. 2018, yeah. Ooh, geez. Yeah, that's too far back. Imaginary Friend. I knew this would be on the list, obviously. If you don't know, Imaginary Friend by Stephen Chbosky is my favorite book of all time. I'm obsessed with this book and I love it wholeheartedly. But I have the hardest time recommending it to people because I don't think that a lot of people would love it. It is horror, and it follows a little boy who vanishes one day, disappears in the woods after school, and can't be found for 7 days. And when he is found again, he returns different. There's something different about him, and he is hellbent on building this treehouse in the woods by Christmas time, or everything that this town knows will change forever. And it is so bizarre, but I loved it. And it has these themes that I think probably are the reason it loses a lot of people. It's also very long. It's also a very long book, and it does get a little bit repetitive. It does get a little bit dragged out, where you're seeing kind of this building up towards this big ending. The build-up gets a little bit repetitive. I personally loved it, but I can see why others wouldn't. I just loved the characters. I loved the characters so much. In this book, it made me cry at the end. Oh, I just loved it. I loved the themes, and the characters were so good. So I personally don't agree with the low rating, but I'm in the minority for sure on that one. So I have the hardest time recommending it. I really do. All right. 9 Perfect Strangers is by far my least favorite Leanne Moriarty. I was just very unimpressed by that one, and I'm surprised that that's the one that got the adaptation. I mean, Big Little Lies did too, thank goodness, but there were other Leanne Moriarty books that I think could have been adapted before 9 Perfect Strangers that were much better. So I agree with that rating. Others that I agree, yeah, oh geez, all of these I agree with. They're kind of mediocre ratings. Wicked Saints I didn't enjoy. Strange Grace didn't enjoy. Dinner List I don't remember at all. Yeah, it looks like a lot of these I definitely agree with. Swimming Lessons, that was, again, like 2017, 2018, these books that I read that were like mystery thrillers. I don't remember anything about them, and that was another Book of the Month book. I remember enjoying it overall, but I don't remember anything else. I do remember Reckless Girls. That one I read last year. Reckless Girls I had a lot of fun with because it gave me Lost vibes. It's this friend, I think these 2 friends go on this stranger's boat, go to an island, and weird things start happening on the island. And I really enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun with the setting of it and the weird things that started happening I liked. So I personally like that one, but you know, it wasn't the most shocking or the most original thing, so I can see why it doesn't have the best rating. And then The Punch Escrow by Tal M. Klein. I'm actually surprised that one has as low of a rating as it does. That one I picked up a long time ago on a whim because someone at a bookstore that I was at, one of the workers, actually recommended it if I liked Dark Matter. I was like, I love Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. And The Punch Escrow, do not read it immediately after reading Dark Matter. It's super similar. So it has slightly, it's like not the same concept as Dark Matter, but it's one that feels very similar, and it has kind of a similar pacing and tone as Dark Matter. So I would read those far apart from each other. But I really enjoyed The Punch Escrow. I thought it was like a fun popcorn read that I got through really quick. So yeah, I enjoyed that one. It wasn't like the best thing ever, but it was fun. So yeah, kind of surprised. Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. And another Tessa Bailey. I really like Tessa Bailey's writing. Romance is tough because it's like if your humor doesn't hit, if steamy scenes don't hit, like dialogue, like there's so much that's so subjective about romance, but I really like Tessa Bailey's characters, writing, the way she writes dialogue I really like. So I really like her books. 2 of them I've given 5 stars now, but I know that there are things that probably bother people about her writing, which I can't fault. That's fine. Nightmare by Chad Nicholas. This was a really fun one. This was like a very dark psychological thriller that was sent to me by the author, and I had a lot of fun with this. It had very creepy horror imagery that I remember, like scarecrows that were very creepy. So I definitely think that this one deserves a higher rating. I'm actually surprised. There were things that bothered me a little bit. Like there were some characters that, like there was a psychologist character that I thought didn't really sound like a psychologist. But I really liked the twist in this one. It had a really good twist. So I liked Nightmare. And Enchantment of Ravens. This is another one. I know I'm in the more unpopular opinion of liking an Enchantment of Ravens more than Sorcery of Thorns. I loved An Enchantment of Ravens when I read it because it just felt very sweet, contained, low stakes, and I really liked the themes around like what it means to be human, because in this world, the fae, the fairies, they can't feel emotions, and they aren't supposed to feel strong emotions, and they can't create art. So they rely on humans for like all of their paintings and pottery and anything artistic, creative, because humans feel emotions and feel all these things that, you know, could be looked at as a curse because we feel so much, but could also be looked at as a gift. I really liked all that like stuff that was exploring what it means to be human. I really liked it. So I thought it was very sweet. It does have an insta-love romance that very quickly develops, but I just had a lot of fun with it. I don't know. I thought it was really cute. Yeah, some of these are not surprising. I agree with most of them. Again, I see a Tessa Bailey. Yeah, geez, her books are not highly rated. This was not my favorite by her, though. I can see why. The Oracle Year. I had so much fun with the Oracle Year. I picked this one up at a Goodwill that I randomly stumbled upon. I loved it. Oh my gosh, this was one that I could not put down. It's about a man who all of a sudden wakes up and he starts to kind of see these visions of things that are going to happen, and he starts blogging about them, just to put it out there in the universe, just to see if it comes true. And everything he predicts comes true. So he gets this huge following on this blog, and all of a sudden he gets the attention of all of these very powerful entities. Like, he gets the attention of the church, he gets the attention of the government. So he has a lot of people after him all of a sudden because they're like, how are you doing this? This is a danger to us. Like, what you're doing is not okay. So it's really cool because you're following all these different perspectives that are trying to like find him, and it's very fast paced and fun. I remember going in with no expectations and had so much fun. It was very much like kind of a blockbuster type read. So I ended up giving it 5 stars because I loved it. But, you know, maybe if you go in with certain expectations and they're not what you expect, or if you're, you know, thinking this is going to be some groundbreaking novel with great character development, it's not that. I would say the character development is not like off the charts fantastic, but I remember having so much fun with it. And I usually rate books based off of my enjoyment, and I loved that. So 5 stars. Oh my gosh, one of my least favorite books ever, The Luminous Dead. I was listening to this one on audio, and I got 90% of the way through the audiobook, and I DNF'd it because I was so mad. I was so mad at a certain point because it said it was sci-fi horror, and I get through the whole thing, almost the whole thing, and there was not one part of it that felt sci-fi to me, and there was not one part of it that felt horror to me. I was like, where is like the creepy cave horror elements I was expecting? Nowhere to be found. It was just these two characters arguing at each other the whole time, and a lot of what felt like fake build up to nothing. I was so bad at it. I hated this book. I was so mad. I've never DNF'd a book at 90%, but I was just so angry that I couldn't take it anymore. All right, I'll do a couple more. So Artemis, Happy and You Know It, The Girl Before, The Hypnotist Love Story. Like, all of these, I can understand the lower ratings, but all of these are ones that I just personally had fun with, thought they were good, not the best thing ever. Artemis, I think it gets a really bad rap, and it's definitely not nearly as good as The Martian or Project Hail Mary. Those are 2 of my favorite books of all time. And I can see why the main character in Artemis would definitely, you know, not work for some people. But I really had fun with it. I thought it was a cool concept. I thought the world building and the science stuff was really cool. I actually liked the main character. I didn't mind her. And I really liked kind of the heist plot it felt like it had. So I really enjoyed Artemis. I had fun with it. Happy and You Know It is kind of another mommy drama type book, which again, I enjoy. And The Girl Before, this one also got adapted actually, and I really enjoyed this one. It was like a creepy modern house where these women kind of stay at this home, and one of them, before our main character gets there, had disappeared previously, so the main character is trying to figure out where she went. And it was one that kept me engaged throughout, and I was like, what is going on? What is happening? I had fun with it. Hypnotist Love Story is another one that I was just kind of engaged with this one. Some of these like also could be 3.5 stars that I round up, so I'm pretty much in agreement with the overall rating, because I know I gave the Hypnotist Love Story 3.5 stars, but I rounded up to 4. I usually try to round up on Goodreads. Same with Kingdom of Back, 3.5. So I actually do agree with the ratings that these got. So I don't have unpopular opinions, I don't think, for most of these. The Chalkman, though, I did not really enjoy that one. I am going to give CJ Tudor another try with The Drift, so I'll be curious to see what I think of that one. Yeah, so that kind of brings us to the end of a couple of pages of books with low ratings, seeing if I disagree, seeing if I love them. And there are a couple that I definitely enjoyed more than the majority of people, but I get it. I get a lot of these, why they have low ratings. So what do you think? Did I talk about any of the books that you've read? What did you think of them? And then what's one book that a lot of people seem to dislike that you really, really enjoyed? I would love to know, so leave those comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.